Welcome to the Mountain Plains Minority Supplier Development Council Virtual Townhouse Series. We know that many of our businesses are feeling the sting from the COVID-19 crisis. As a nonprofit service organization, we are deeply concerned about our MBEs and corporate members. We want to welcome all of you to the first of our virtual townhouse series, focused specifically on minority business enterprise. I am Belinda Hooks, our virtual town host and market president for the Mountain Plains Minority Supplier Development Council. Today's topic is immediate local support for minority business enterprise, and we are proud to bring you four great panelists. Let me get started with our first panelist. Ms. Rosie McDonald is the director of the Minority Business Office of Colorado. She has extensive experience as an independent consultant for the Colorado SBDC office in the disaster recovery, Connect to Dot, and general financial consulting programs statewide. Rosie is also an affiliate faculty at Regis University Dual Language Program, where she teaches strategic management, business sustainability, and accounting. She is the former associate director of the Denver Metro SBDC and lead finance consultant and trainer in the areas of strategic management and operations, financial analysis and funding sources, personal and business credit, and business development. Please welcome Rosie as she details some of the immediate local support for MBEs. Rosie?
Thank you, Belinda. Happy to be here. Thank you for the Mountain Plains Minority Supplier Development Council to invite us and participate in this town hall. We are happy to bring some additional resources for small businesses that are owned by minority groups. We have, as part of the state and part of the Office of Economic Development, we have a website where you can find additional information for your business, and we invite you to go to that website and get all sorts of resources for you. It's www.choosecolorado.com/COVID-19, no dash. And in that website, you can find information about funding for businesses. Obviously, David Benavides with us today is going to talk more about the SBA portion of it, but we have other sources of assistance for businesses in terms of the eviction, layoff assistance, trade and travel advisories, industry-specific resources, unemployment, federal student loans. And then we also have, more importantly for all of you, if you are a small business owner and you want to talk to someone live, we have a small business navigator hotline. Please take this number, take a little pencil right now and take this number, 303-860-5881. You can either communicate with us via phone, or you can also send us an email at OEDIT, that's OEDIT, _SB for small business, navigator at state.co.us. That email again is OEDIT, _SB, navigator at state.co.us. We offer right now no-cost consulting through the SBDC consultants, and we can help you go through some of the preparations that you need to do for the SBA loans and grants that are available for small businesses at this point. And if anything, you will have a voice to talk to and basically talk about what issues you're facing right now. We hope to be a resource for all small businesses throughout the state. We also have regional webinars that you can tune in, and we also have other resources for loans and grants that have popped up in different parts of the state. So please visit that page and let us know how we can help you. Belinda, back to you.
Thank you, Rosie. We appreciate you so much. We'll move on to our next presenter. Murphy Robinson, a Denver native, is the Chief Operating Officer for the City and County of Denver and the Interim Executive Director of the Department of Public Safety. He is a member of Mayor Michael B. Hancock's cabinet and served as the deputy mayor in 2019. In his role as the city COO, Mr. Robinson is responsible for overseeing the day-to-day operations of Denver on behalf of Mayor Hancock. He oversees a 1.5 billion budget and 16,000 employees across the city. As the interim executive director of public safety, Mr. Robinson oversees management, discipline, human resources, administrative support, and policy direction for the Denver Police, Fire and Sheriff's Departments, the 911 Emergency Communication Center, Community Corrections, Public Safety Youth Programs, and GRID, which stands for Gang Reduction Initiative of Denver. Please help me welcome Mr. Murphy Robinson.
Hi, everyone. I am so happy and thrilled to come and talk to you all once again. I have a moment or a chance to talk to you at least once a year. And so unfortunately, it's under these circumstances this time. But I did want to give you just a quick update on what the city is doing to combat COVID, as well as some of the opportunities we have for small business in the city and county of Denver, minority-owned business in the city and county of Denver. First, I wanted to share some stats with you that I'm not sure that everyone has heard. In the United States, as of today, we have 423,000 cases, 14,000 deaths. In Colorado, we have 5,655 cases of COVID with 193 deaths. And in the city and county of Denver, we have 999 cases. I believe it actually just passed 1,000 today. I think it's like 1,032, something like that, with 32 deaths in the city and county of Denver. We are working diligently 7 days a week here. I'm coming to you live from the Emergency Operations Center bunker here in the city and county building, where we are working 24/7, 7 days a week to help combat this. As you all know, there is multiple impacts to our city, not only in the way of life and health and operation, but specifically one of the largest impacts is our economic impact to our businesses, not only large businesses, but our small business, minority-owned businesses alike. And so we have been working diligently to try and stand up programs that can assist the business owners in our city. Aside from even some of the federal dollars that'll be coming, we wanted to make sure that we continue to implement programs that are going to seek benefit to you all as we weather this storm together. Two things I wanted to highlight before we move on is that we have two major programs that we have rolled out, one of which was existing. We've just made it a more broad program, is the Small Business Emergency Relief Program for COVID. That is for eligible businesses to receive $7,500 in grant funding toward their business. That does have specific industry priorities. However, there are a lot of different other businesses that are going to be impacted and are eligible for that program. But the industries that we prioritize for that right off the bat for the first contingent of grants are retail, restaurants and food industry, personal care, such as barber shops, nail salons, and gyms, healthcare and social assistance, such as child care and home health providers, logistics companies, small business manufacturing, and security. Those are some of the first areas in which we have implemented. The second being program is called the Denver Microloan Program. That's the one that was existing before all of this occurred. However, we've made it a little bit more robust, and we're trying to get the word out there about it. That is the microloans from anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000, and that's geared towards small businesses, folks that make less than $1 million a year. And that microloan program comes at a very, very, very low interest rate. I'm not sure. I think it changed, but I'm not sure what the interest rate is at this moment. I thought I had it on my cheat sheet here. Don't have that, but I can definitely get that for you. As well as we are continuing to find different programs that will allow for our businesses to thrive and not have to shut down after this crisis. I know that I only really have 2 or 3 minutes, and so I'll end there. I did want to say that we only have had, we've had 9,000 businesses survey for these programs, but we've only had 2,000 applications, and in that, only 403 minority-owned businesses 938 female-owned businesses, and 316 minority and female-owned businesses, for a grand total of 1,657. I say only because I think we have more than that in and around the city and county of Denver, and I want to see all of your businesses utilize this program. Most of it's this grant program, as well as these microloans, can really do due diligence in helping. So without, I could go on forever. Belinda, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you so very much, Murphy. Appreciate that. We'll have a chance to answer questions in just a little bit here. Let me move on to our next presenter. Thank you so very much again already. Rhonda Harris currently serves as the Director of the Office of Minority and Women Business Development with the Kansas Department of Commerce in Topeka, Kansas. She has served in this capacity for the past 21 years. Before this position, she served as a certification specialist for the office for 6 years, where she was responsible for certifying women and minority-owned businesses. She also currently serves on several committees and boards related to women and minority business development efforts. Rhonda received her certification as an economic development finance professional from the National Development Council in 1996, and last year she completed the Heartland Economic Development course. Please help me welcome Rhonda Harris.
Good afternoon. Thanks for allowing me to be a part of this program today and share what we are doing here in Kansas. Through the leadership and guidance from our Secretary of Commerce, David Tolan, Kansas has developed and assisted with several programs and resources to assist business owners. We introduced a live chat feature on our agency webpage under COVID-19 resources. This chat is to help businesses that are applying for the SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loans. Although the Department of Commerce doesn't administer the SBA disaster loans, we are helping businesses navigate the application process, which you know can be challenging at times. About 10 members of our staff attended training provided by SBA and various lenders. Now these commerce representatives are available via the live chat function from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday at kansascommerce.gov/COVID-19 response. Another funding program that was established was the HIRE Fund, which stands for Hospitality Industry Relief Emergency Fund. This fund was established by Governor Laura Kelly. She announced this on March 20th, and this new funding helped those industries that are industries that are in restaurant area, bars, lodging facilities, events and convention centers. This is a one-time zero interest loan up to $20,000. The program was administered by Network Kansas, a nonprofit organization. $5 million was allocated and awarded. Those funds have been depleted. We had over 1,400 applications. 800 of those were received in the first 24 hours. Thus far, 346 Kansas businesses have received HIRE Fund loans. Since there aren't any funding left at this point, we are still taking applications in case there are some additional funding issued to this HIRE Fund in the future. So if you already applied to the HIRE Fund, you don't need to reapply. However, if you are in the hospitality industry, please go and apply for the fund at kansascommerce.gov HIRE Fund and complete your application. Other actions we have taken is to take existing programs and modify them in a way to remove restrictions to how the current funds were being used. For example, through our Community Development Block Grant Program, we have 37 Kansas communities receiving federal funding that are used for cities and counties looking to improve their communities. Now we have received approval to use these funds for working capital, for rent payment, for paying salaries and other operational expenses for businesses. In terms of application process, we have cut down the processing time from 30 days to 24 hours and cut the public notice time frame to 24 hours as well. Another program where we remove restrictions is the Incentive Without Walls. This program administers revolving loans for our Main Street communities. Now, these funds can also be used for working capital, rent payment, paying salaries, and other operational expenses for businesses. One additional resource I would like to share is the COVID-19 jobs website. The Kansas Department of Commerce launched a new jobs website connecting job seekers with Kansas businesses hiring to fill urgent needs during the COVID-19 pandemic. While the COVID-19 crisis has led to many Kansans losing their jobs, it's also driven demand and opportunity for some functions in critical industries such as food and grocery, shipping and logistics, and healthcare. The COVID-19 jobs website allows us to quickly connect individuals looking for work with companies that have urgent needs. The COVID-19 job site can be accessed at kansasworks.com/coronavirus. The site is available at no cost to employers or job seekers and is updated continuously. In closing, as additional resources are created, as this is fast moving, we are posting a lot of our items on our website as well as our social media pages. Lastly, I want to say thank you to our MBEs who continue to face this trial with great service. We are here to help you. For more information, you can contact our office at 785-296-3425 or kansascommerce.gov. Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much, Rhonda. Appreciate all of that information. And as I mentioned, we will have time for questions. So thank you once again. Appreciate it. J. David Benavides, I'm going to introduce our last speaker for today. Joined the SBA Colorado District Office as a Lender Relations Specialist in January of 2017. David brings over 13 years of branch, bank, and credit union management, along with another 7 years of financial planning and securities experience. He also served in the United States Air Force for 8 years with assignments in Denver and Australia. David spent 8 years serving his country in the United States Air Force with assignments in Denver and Australia. Following his military career, David gained experience in the finance world, first as an investment advisor for Sun America Securities, and then transitioned into mutual funds management for the Financial and Retirement Transactions Department of Janus. Welcome, please, Mr. David Benavides.
Thank you, Belinda. And I want to thank the Mountain Plains Minority Development Supplier Council for having us here today and allowing us to present some of the programs that we currently have out there for individual businesses that are having a rough time through this crisis time. I will briefly cover the couple of programs that we have, because I also want to make sure we allow time, because I know there are a lot of individuals that have specific individual questions that affect them specifically. So I will cover first our economic injury disaster loan program, which I will call EIDL here out. That program is managed and handled by our disaster group out of our disaster centers. That you actually go to our website, the www.sba.gov, to apply for it. It allows for a maximum loan of $2 million. The rates on those loans right now are going to be at 3.75 for small businesses. The duration of them are set to go out as far as 30 years, with the first 10 years, with the first 12 months being deferred. Now, the processing time on these have been will be anywhere like 4 to 5 weeks to get them processed. And we understand that that time can be crucial. So as a part of this program, we've also opened up the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Advance program. So as you apply for the EIDL loan, you will be given the option as to whether you want to be considered for the advance. If you select the advance can be up to $10,000, and that is actually based on the number of employees that you can show that you had prior to January 31st, and that is how that's figured out. the $10,000, if you take the advance, will be forgiven as a part of your loan. Now, the other program we have is our payroll protection program, the PPP. That one is actually being managed through financial institutions throughout the country. That one itself can be up to $10 million. The amount that you're eligible for is based on a 12-month average and 2.5 times your monthly average. That program is actually set up for individuals to either rehire or pay your current employees. And it's set up with the forgiveness part of it, which states that if you use at least 75% of what is given to you over the next 8 weeks for payroll purposes, that's paying employees and bringing employees back, and can maintain your employment, the number of employees that you had at the end of January, then the loan will be forgiven as well. So those are a couple of programs that we have out there. The processing time, I will tell you, on the PPP loan, I know that it goes to financial institutions, and there's been a lot of concern about banks that are no longer taking applications. I can share that the credit limits on banks are currently being looked at as far as being able to open that up so they can do more of these loans. But we are also bringing more and more banks online every day who want to participate in the program. We know it's very, very popular. I know as of this morning, we had over 500 million applications in it. We've funded over 130 billion in approved loans on this, and we have over 4,000 lenders that are currently participating in this program. So the money is out there. I encourage any business that is going through hard times at this point to look at both programs. You can apply for both programs at the same time. The only thing is that if you're using the PPP to pay your payroll, you cannot use the EIDL loan for the same purpose. But the programs are out there. They're there to help small businesses, and we encourage everybody to go. As I shared, these programs change daily, especially particularly the fact that they are currently looking for more funding for the PPP program. But as they change, I encourage everybody to go out to our website. That is the www.sba.gov. Changes as they come in. We post to that site, and I encourage everybody to go. Belinda, I thank you for having us again.
Thank you so much, David. Appreciate all that information. We are so very pleased to have such a well-informed guest to join us today. Our moderator for the next segment of the virtual town hall is Marvin Lyman, Business Development and Corporate Relations Manager for the Mountain Plains Minority Supplier Development Council. Marvin?
Good afternoon, and we thank you again for attending this virtual town hall. The virtual town hall has been muted for our attendees, but we want to strongly encourage you to click the question and answer feature on the screen and post your comments or questions. Our team will do our best to include any questions or comments you may post. Murphy, we want to pose this next question to you. Is it possible for the city and county of Denver, as well as other municipalities, to enact a local purchasing preference, specifically during the COVID-19 crisis?
That's a very good question. You know, we continue to try our best to include our minority women-owned businesses into what we're doing with the COVID response. I would say that a local preference in regards to COVID isn't necessarily something that we are doing directly right now, and that's because if we look at, for example, trying to source masks or source ventilators, things that actually we need for this crisis, if we had it locally, we would probably already obtained it. And so we are continuing to do that. But I will also say this, for example, a really good example and a really good win for us is in the city and county of Denver, the EOC is open 6 days a week. And in that 6 days a week, we provide breakfast and lunch to all of our staff here at the EOC, as well as some of our operational staff in other buildings. And I have put a rule in place that we are to use the women and minority-owned businesses to cater those lunches.